Hi there, this is Chuck with MTG The Journey. We are going over the Esper Humans, kind of an enchantment thing this time. I did realize that there's quite a few things here that seem to work well as far as the enchantments went. I just really added a couple of new things and changed a couple of the creatures up. It seemed like a lot of times when I had these matchups that I wasn't hitting the things that I wanted to hit when I wanted to hit them, and the things that I was using weren't really relevant. And so one of the things that I changed so far is adding in 4 of these Boros Elites. They seem to work really well, and I needed more consistency in my 1-drops. So now I've got 8 total 1-drops here, and they really help a lot early game, and if they're not answered, these guys can turn really nasty really fast. Another thing I added was Precinct Captain. Yeah, he does cost double white, but I almost never have trouble hitting that, so it doesn't really bother me, and the first strike and the soldier token really help too. The only thing that'd be better is if it was a human token, so that I got, the effect from Zathra Necromancer on it. I added Banisher Priest, and this one I'm still kind of iffy on. I don't know. I have Fiend Slayer Paladin here in the sideboard, and I don't know if I like this too much either. The only other option that I really have that I like is the medic, the frontline medic, and I, I feel like the frontline medic might be a better main board, and then either have Banisher Priest or Fiend Slayer Paladin on the sideboard. But I don't know really which one's more relevant. Like the Sin Collectors are great against like the Esper controls or like the black matchups or things of that nature that you want to try to get card advantage out of their hand. So those I think are still very relevant. And then this 3-drop Sky Knight here. So I have a lot. I don't want to really go more than the 4 Necromancers, the Sky Knights, and the Banisher Priests / Frontline Medics for 3-drops because I mean it's not hard for me to hit the 3 mana, but that does tend to tie up a lot of mana really fast. And competing for that slot is also the Far and Away, which I added because of the fact that I have so many matchups where they have one big creature on the field and they just tear me apart with it because it's either a Storm Breath Dragon or a Boros Reckoner, things of that nature. And the Soldier of the Pantheon does a great job against Boros Reckoner, but if they're playing those colors, they can probably get rid of it. The Blind Obedience has actually won me games. Like I actually won one game through Extort, so that was fantastic. But that was kind of a funny story. I did a preview video for this with and that's kind of how I figured out my microphone issue. I was actually recording the audio from my laptop instead of my headset, and it was, I mean, you could hear it. I was every time I would tap anything or move anything, you just hear tons of mic noise. So yeah, hopefully we've got that sorted out, and the audio should be much better from here moving forward. And sorry about that. I know it really bothers some people, and after listening to the videos, I can see why. So hopefully we have that problem fixed moving forward. One thing that I saw Kevin mention from Rogue Deck Builder was this Soul Ransom, and I've been testing it out playing, and it just seems to just absolutely just destroy people. It's really effective, and they hate it, and they hate discarding to get their creature back, and gives me tons of card advantage. So it's like a card draw engine and a discard engine all at the same time. Plus, most of the time I get to use their creature for a turn, so it's pretty fantastic. The Underworld connections I love. I don't know if I'm going to keep them around for very long, but they work really well. But the double black sometimes is really hard to hit. So I don't know. I'm running 2 Supreme Verdicts. I don't have another one in the sideboard because 2 always seems to do the job. So, and then Elspeth, I've got a 1 of because she seems to work really well, and when she hits late game, she pretty much ends the game. So that works really well, and I decided to go ahead and keep the odds and outs around because they still are very powerful when they hit the field. Or if I need something faster, I can always board in the Fiend Slayer Paladins or the Sin Collectors, and they work really well. For the board here, Erebos I still think is relevant against other decks that run lifelink, things of that nature, to stop them from getting out of control, stop Sphinx's Rev from gaining them mad amounts of life. Yeah, they'll get the card advantage, but I don't know. I have had somebody recommend the black white rogue card, that whenever somebody draws a card besides their opening step, you can draw a card as well, or instead of them drawing the card, you draw the cards. So that would be another thing that I would look at moving into here in the future. But it's a blue black rogue, I think. It's like a 2 and blue black. I'll have to look it up later. But Pithing Needle stops planeswalkers, things of that nature. Pacifism is just more enchantments that I can throw in another detention sphere in case I'm not hitting that often enough, or if they're really running heavy creatures that I want to see the extra detention sphere. I like Sphere of Safety. I almost mainboarded it, but I don't really know what I would take out here, except for maybe a Blind Obedience, but this is so powerful that I really don't want to get rid of it. So I don't really know, besides maybe even a Far Away can come out to put in the Sphere of Safety, and I might actually do that. You might see that happen in the deck as I play it. A Whip of Erebos, in case I'm not getting enough, or staying around long enough in a game, or they just destroy me really quick, to get some lifelink back. And Thoughtseize, of course, is a great sideboard against a lot of matchups, mainly the ones where you want to get their removal out of their hand fast. So, and then the lands, I've pretty much stayed consistent. I did go down to 3 Watery Graves because I felt like I was seeing blue way too often and not enough white. So I still have, see, 3, 6, 10, 10 sources of blue. So I think I'm still fine on that. But yeah, if you see anything else or have any more recommendations, feel free to comment and I'll try it out and throw it in there. If I move away from this deck here, I'm probably going to be moving into setting up something for the next set that's coming for Born of the Gods, because there's a lot of stuff in there, and I might actually move to a heavier auras deck rather than have these a lot of these Blind Obedience, Underworld Connections, Soul Ransom type stuff. Might actually move to heavy auras with that like the Afaras card that gives your creature flying, adds a +1/+1 counter, and you can return it to your hand. That'd be fantastic in this deck, especially if we played stuff like Fabled Hero and that new the new one that you can pay to add tokens type deal. That would be fantastic. There's a lot of stuff that we could move this to once the next set comes out. So we'll be looking for other humans and stuff to interact with that. And there may be even stuff that's better to run in here than say the Live Sky Knight or the the Boros Elites. We might end up switching some of them out for other stuff that is more relevant. So we'll see how that works moving forward. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and do a series with this and just see how it performs. So stick around and check those out. And thanks for watching. Appreciate all the new views and all the new followers we're getting here. And hope to make this stuff better moving forward. And we'll do some new series as we move forward too. I know one guy said that he wanted to see some how-to deck building stuff. So if anybody else is interested in that, I'll be taking suggestions as for what you'd like to see me build or go through. He wanted to do a control, but I'm not a control player. I don't know a whole lot about the meta with control, so I'm not really. I mean, I can give it a shot, but I can't promise that it'll be very decent. So I'm more of a creature-based player than I am a control player, or at least heavy control. I do like to have control to a certain aspect, but I'm not a heavy all-out control. You play 3 Elspeths and a bunch of counter spells and Sphinx's Revs. To me, that's just boring, and I don't like playing that way. So if that's something you guys are interested in, I'll try my luck at brewing it, but I'm gonna let you know now. I'm not very good at stuff like that. So, but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and run this, and this has been Charles with MTG The Journey, and hope you guys enjoy the series.